I'm Christy, welcome to my channel, or possibly it's welcome back. Either way, so glad that you're here. Today we're talking about things that I like and things that I have been liking, nothing revolutionary. Let's just get into it. So the first category that I have here is like beauty and makeup vibes, or like beauty, self-care, makeup, skincare things. So the first thing I have is this Peace Self-Preserving Moisturiser from Lush. So in here we've got cocoa butter, almond butter and aloe vera as well. This is like one of their like thicker moisturisers, and normally I'm not really like a heavy moisturiser kind of person, but I really love this one because it doesn't like sit on your skin as much. I have naturally quite oily skin, so if you do have like drier skin, then you might like something like heavier feeling on the skin. This I feel like is the perfect medium of not feeling like a swamp is on your face but still being like really hydrating. My skin has been so dehydrated throughout the winter. I've literally got like a patch of dry skin here that I've had for about 8 weeks and can't get rid of, but this has like stopped it from like being sore. I also get like really itchy like legs, like at like the side of my calf. It's kind of like a little bit of psoriasis, and this just kind of helps to like bring that down and soothe it right down. So yeah, been loving this, and as you can see I have completely finished it, so I will definitely be purchasing another one. I should also mention I have a lot of Lush products in here. I work for Lush. If you've seen my vlogs before, you know that I work for Lush, but that's not going to like sway my opinion, or like I'm not going to mention something that I don't like. I just wouldn't mention it. Or if somebody was like, hey, do you like this product, and I didn't like it, I would just say that I didn't. Just so happens I like a lot of their products, I like a lot of their ethics, but there's definitely some products that like I don't love. Like for instance, like they are like heavier moisturisers, I would say are Peace and Celestial. I really love Peace. I cannot stand Celestial on my skin. I know plenty of people love it. I feel like that is so heavy and so like don't like it, and I don't actually like the smell of Celestial either. Peace, love her. Yeah, if you're like, wow, she's got a lot of Lush products in here, that is why. Second product is a bath bomb, and it is the Sleeping Giant. I don't have it here in my hand because I already had it in my bath. I believe I have some pictures that I can put here that I can show you, and I can show you like when it was actually like in the bath as well, because it was really beautiful. This is one of their more like luxury bath bombs that you can use in like different parts. So it comes half here, and then inside there's dried flowers in there, and it's got stars and moons on the outside that are actually glow in the dark, and they're not bath melts, because I wouldn't say they add like any like hydration in your bath. They're like a kind of waxy texture, but you can reuse them multiple times like in your bath to just be like little aesthetic glow in the dark guys. Anyway, I used the Sleeping Giant, like I used it on Christmas Eve actually, and I thought it was beautiful. It's like obviously really lovely like lavender scent to it. It's got dried flowers in it. It just feels like a little bit like of extra like bouginess if you want like a really luxury bath. The Sleeping Giant is only available in like anchor stores, so that'll be like the bigger stores. So if you have like a Lush near you and it's like relatively small, chances are they're not going to have it. But if you see one of like the big giant Lush stores, then they will have it, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. The second bath bomb I'm going to recommend that I also don't have here, but I will put a picture of, is called Nae Stressy, and this is the Loch Ness Monster Nae Stressy Nessie. I love it so much, love the concept, I think it's so cute. She's fucking cute as anything, like smells amazing, so the smell is like uplifting and relaxing at the same time. There's like some notes of like citrus in there, but most of the smell I kind of get from it is like this kind of like pine needle smell. And this is, I think, only available in Glasgow. I might be telling lies, it might be available in all Scottish stores. I think it might just be Glasgow right now though, so if you happen to be in Glasgow, get yourself a Nae Stressy Nessie because it's so cute. Oh, and there's like popping candy in that one as well, just makes it like a little bit fun. I'm such a child, I love when they put like the popping candy in their bath bombs. I'm like, Next thing that I've been loving is the pink peppermint foot lotion. This was actually like an old favourite of mine from years ago. I really love it because the smell is gorgeous. I've used this often, and as you can see, it's like barely even like touched the surface. You do not need a lot of this, like a real little bit of this goes a long way. It also has arnica in it as well, which is really good for like swelling and helping sore feet. And I swear to God, like when I use this, if I've had like a long day like on my feet all day and I put this on my feet and my legs, it feels like an instant relief for me. It's just like such a good product. Yeah, so glad that I have started using that again because I remembered my love for it. And the next thing I'm going to talk about, but I don't actually have on my person because I've finished it, is Magic Crystals Body Scrub. Again, continuing on like the same like menthol vibes. The colour of this is just nice. I just love using it because it's like, 1, it's fun to use, 2, it smells amazing, and 3, it's really going to like wake you up and like zhuzh you up in the morning. Another thing I really like about it as well, so the scrub itself is like a kind of coarse sea salt, so it gives you like a really good exfoliation, and I love like a really good like scrub me until I am bleeding. Like that's like the level of scrub that I want. So I feel like that scrubs me an appropriate amount, not till I'm bleeding because that would be weird, but I enjoy it. Also as well, another thing I like about it is sometimes when you use some body scrubs, it kind of like dries you out more because it's like scrubbing away like the top surface of your skin. But I feel like Magic Crystals almost leaves like a like light, like almost like, saying oily coating makes it sound disgusting, but like a very light like coating of hydration. Honestly, after exfoliating, I would always recommend that you go in and you do use a moisturiser, but at least with this one, if you don't, you're not going to feel like all the moisture and all the life has been sucked out of you. It is very tingly though, so I will say I don't like using it on like winter mornings because you feel cold after using it. But if you need to be like woke up and you want to feel like fresh, that's going to make you feel fresh. And the next thing I want to talk about is a massage bar, and it is the massage bar Joints. So mine, there would be no point in showing you it because it just looks like a white slither of like nothingness because I have used it to death. But Joints is their massage bar, and it has 25 milligrams of CBD in it. I feel like it's quite terrible that I don't know that. I'm pretty sure that it is 25 milligrams of CBD, but also in there it's got like cocoa butter. It's nice and hydrating. All of like their massage bars have cocoa butter and shea butter, so they're all going to give like a little bit of hydration. But this one, just where it has like the CBD in it, is going to be like a little bit more relaxing for your body and for your mind. So the scent of this one is, got like a lot of like patchouli in it. It's very like earthy. I feel like it's almost got like a tobacco-y scent to it. There's no tobacco in there, but for me it's like that kind of like musky, like earthy scent. It's like a lot of patchouli comes through for me with this one. And my favourite way to use it is being on my belly. If you know me, you know that I suffer from like the most like horrendous periods and horrendous cramps, so I love to give myself a little stomach massage. And the way these work is they melt at skin temperature, and then when they're like left to their own devices, as long as you're not like sitting them anywhere like extremely hot, then they will like go back to like a solid form again. So you can like rub it straight onto your skin, give yourself a little bit of massage, and it just offers like a little bit of relief. Is it a complete miracle worker? No, of course not. Does it help? Yes, it definitely does. I also had someone tell me the other day that they use it on their sore knee and sore hip, and in the morning when they wake up they don't have like pains anymore. So there you go. So we'll move on to hair now, and I have been using the Super Milk Conditioning Hair Primer. So in here there's almond, coconut and oat milk, and this is just so good for like locking in moisture. So the way that I use this is, once I have like washed my hair while it's still damp, a couple of pumps of this, and I'll like just like put it through the ends of my hair. It doesn't weigh your hair down in any way. It still feels nice and lightweight. It just adds like a little bit of like silkiness to it. Also because like the ends of my hair, like, so I get like quite oily roots, but like the rest of my hair is like quite dry and quite frizzy. Even on dry hair, I take a couple of pumps of that, rub it in between my hands and just kind of comb it through my hair, and it just makes my hair look a lot more sleek and a lot more silky. Or if I'm wearing my hair like this, I kind of use this to like help to scrape my hair back, and then I'm putting something nice and hydrating in my hair at the same time as kind of styling it. So I've been on this like ongoing journey of trying to grow my hair longer again. I always had like really beautiful like thick long hair, and since around about COVID time, I would say, since around about lockdown, a lot of my hair started falling out. I had a big massive hormone change. I don't actually think it was COVID related. I did at one point think it was possibly stress related, but actually I think there was like a few other things going on. Anyway, won't get into that. A lot of my hair started coming out in like big massive clumps, and my hair now doesn't really grow past a certain length, and I don't feel like myself when I don't have my hair like the way that I want my hair to be. So on that journey of trying to like get it nice and long again and just taking more care of it. So I've also been using rosemary oil in my hair as well a couple of times a week. So rosemary is like super stimulating for like your hair follicles, and it's super hydrating for your hair as well. And I love the way that rosemary oil smells. It is so nice. This one that I've been using, I've actually been like using it on my skin sometimes as well, like on my face for like a little facial massage, or when I feel like my skin just needs like a little bit more extra love. And when I wake up in the morning, my skin is always like so much nicer. So I've been really loving using that for my hair and for my skin. And we'll move on to makeup now. So back to another Lush product. How annoying. It's their Emotional Brilliance Translucent Powder. I just love this powder so much. It's so finely milled that it never looks cakey or like too much. So I would show you, I think you can maybe see like a little bit. I mean, honestly, I'm like scraping the barrel here. I literally have like nothing left of this one. I'm going to get another one tomorrow. So it is translucent, but I would say it does have like a slight pinkness to it, and it works really well for my skin tone. Like you can't notice any like colour or anything at all on the skin. I just don't actually know how that, I just spat everywhere. I just don't know how it would perform on like deeper skin tones. And in here as well there is jojoba oil as well, so again it's not going to leave you feeling like dry as sand. It is going to like keep you feeling like nice and hydrated as well without feeling like too heavy. Obsessed with it, love it so much. Again, this was actually one that I used years and years ago, and then like I love trying like new makeup products and stuff like that. So like I'll pick up things, I'll love them, I'll try something new, I'll forget about the old thing. And then that I have been using since I bought that in August, and I use it most days, and that's it just nearly running out now, and it is like February tomorrow. So yeah, like it lasts a relatively long time. Another oldie but goodie that I'm going to talk about, but I'm not going to go and get because I actually forgot I wanted to talk about it and it is in my room, is Feeling Younger Skin Tint. So I again loved this for such a long time, just kind of forgot about it. I feel like now in the era of having like natural looking skin and not wanting anything like too over the top, I feel like everybody's like very in like their skincare no makeup era. I feel like this product works so perfectly. So Lush's two skin tints, they have Charisma and they have Feeling Younger. I love Feeling Younger, and that's like they're kind of more like white iridescent, kind of adding like more like of like a silvery white highlight sheen, and then Charisma is like their kind of more tinted golden shade one, which I personally haven't found a way to make that work for my skin. Even trying to use it as like a little bronzer or anything like that doesn't really work for me. But Feeling Younger, I have loved this one for years. So I use this in either a couple of different ways. So either I will literally just dab on like my cheekbones, my brow bones, down my nose, if I just want to like add like a little bit of like a gonna say a subtle highlight, but honestly when you do it that way it's like not all that subtle, but it does look very natural. Well, on my skin tone anyway, it looks very natural. Yeah, I just feel like the way that the light hits it is just like very pretty, and it just kind of looks like, wow, she's got such like radiant skin, and I'm like, thanks. Or I like to use it in with my moisturiser. I will literally take like a little boop of that in with my moisturiser and put it all over my skin to kind of give like an all over sheeny glow. Again, it's really, really pretty to use that way as well. And that tub, like, honestly will last you 5 million years, because when I say you need a little bit of it, I mean a little bit of it. Next makeup product I want to talk about, and you'll be pleased to know it's not Lush, is the e.l.f. Putty blush in the shade specifically Bora Bora, which is this like pink shade. I feel like that's not really focusing. I wear this most days. It's the one that I've got on today. I will say I do have like a tiny little bit of powder blush on top of it. I put a little bit of, it was like a Colourpop like matte blush just to kind of like set it in place a little bit. But I have been like obsessed with this little blush, and when I find a colour that I like, I will use it to death. And again, I have been using this for ages. I want to say like I got this like June, July last year, and like I have hardly used anything out of it, even though I use it all the time. So value for money on these is absolutely incredible. And I would also say it doesn't really matter on your skill level for these, because they blend out super easily. Whether you use a brush, whether you use your fingers, whether you use a sponge, doesn't matter. These blend out so nicely, and they have like almost like a, not really a matte, like more of like a satin finish, I would call it. So it's like not super matte, not super dewy, it's just kind of that perfect in the middle. Obsessed. Another e.l.f. product that I have been using, which I have just realised mine is like so dirty and disgusting because I use it most days, the Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour. Does this have a shade? In light to medium. So I feel like this is definitely like a dupe for like the Charlotte Tilbury. It has like one of those little like sponge applicators, and I literally do a few dots here, a few dots here, some down the side of my nose, sometimes under here if I'm feeling like being like extra fancy. Blend it out, and this blends out beautifully. I would say like the coverage is more light to medium, I would say, but you can build it a little bit. Like if you're wanting to have like the most like snatched like contour in the world, probably not going to be like it. You can build it like a little bit. I would say it's more on like the natural subtle side. But again, love this product. Will definitely be repurchasing this if I ever run out. It's basically almost full and I've been using it for months. I cannot express how little of this you need to use. And then last bit of makeup I'm going to be talking about is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. Is that what it's called? And this is in the shade Dream Pop, which is a brown shade. So I had been on the hunt for ages for a brown, cruelty-free mascara, and this is the only one that I could find. So the things that I love about this is the application of it. Like the wand is really, really nice, and no joke, like one swipe on your lashes and it's like boom, makes like such a difference. It's really buildable as well. Yeah, I think it's an all in all great mascara. The one thing that I don't like about it is I feel like the actual colour is slightly too red toned for me. Yeah, tiny little bit too red. I don't actually notice that when I'm like in my house and like doing my makeup, but I did notice it the other week when I was like in work and I was in a bathroom and they had, you know, like the kind of like overhead, like the unflattering lighting that everybody looks horrible in, so it could just have been that. And I was like, oh, I don't like how my eyelashes look in this lighting, but other lighting I'm like, it's fine. So I don't know, maybe that horrible lighting just made me feel insecure. Maybe the colour is fine, maybe I look great. Next, let's move on to like leisure. I literally have one thing for this, and it is a Lush thing again. I'm so sorry. And it is the Tales of Bath treatment. So if you watched my last vlog, you'll know that I'm a spa therapist for Lush, and I literally just learned this treatment, which is why it's on like the forefront of my mind of being such a beautiful treatment. I feel like if you're going to like get a spa day for yourself or somebody that you love, like if you want to get them like a spa treatment, so Lush don't have like a spa, like a jacuzzi and a pool and stuff like that. It's like these like really beautiful treatments that they put together, and I am being like so like unbiased here. Like I like really like genuinely do think that their treatments are like top tier, and this Tales of Bath treatment is like, it's so worth your money, and I feel like it's one of their most like underrated treatments. If you've heard anybody talk about the Lush spa, you've probably heard them talk about like, oh, the good hour is really great, or the validation facial is really great, and they are great treatments. But Tales of Bath is just really something else, and I feel like it's something that not a lot of other places are actually offering to this degree of like immersive niceness. It's so good. So I won't talk about the treatment for too long, but I'll just give you a brief overview of it. So this treatment originated in the city of Bath, which I'm sure you'll know is famous for their like healing, bathing Roman waters, the Roman baths. We all know like about that, don't we? So this treatment is inspired by that. It started off in Bath, and then other spas started to branch out into other spas because it was popular and because it's such a beautiful treatment. So the idea behind the treatment is it is all about these healing waters, and it talks about a goddess called Sulis, who is a water goddess, and there's a fairy tale involved, which is derived from folklore from Bath. The soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. There is poetry in it, there's the fairy tale, there's songs. It's all recorded by Lush's like in-house band, Fresh Handmade Sound. I feel like I'm just like slipping into work mode now. It's really quite strange. But like anyway, so the treatment starts off and you get like a 10-minute seated chair massage where you're wearing like a big comfy bathrobe. After that you get to go in for a bath for about 15 minutes, and in this time you'll be listening to a fairy tale. Then when you come out of the bath, you're going to go onto the couch and get a 45-minute side lying massage that one of the massage bars will be melted down, and so it'll be like hot when it's, or warm when it's like applied to you, and the massage is just like this really amazing like flowy dreamy massage. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I just think I've worked in spas for like over 10 years now. Like I've not been to a spa whose treatments are as good as the Lush spa and as much thought goes into them. So I personally would, even if I didn't work for Lush, if I was going to go and get myself a treatment, I would get one at Lush, even if it costs a little bit more. If I was going to get a gift for someone, I would get something at Lush, even if it cost a little bit more, because like I feel like the quality that you get is always going to be that much better. This one would also be a really great present for a pregnant person, so it's one of the Lush pregnancy massages, but you definitely don't have to be pregnant to get it. But because it's side lying and you're hugging into this big massive pillow, it's absolutely perfect for that. So if you've got any pregnant friends and you want to treat them to something like quite luxurious, go for it. Okay, moving on to entertainment. So lately I have been loving this YouTuber. Her name is Saina Skyborn. I only like discovered her videos maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I have been binging them so much. She like does like a lot of like commentary and deep dives into TV shows and films. She does a lot of Pretty Little Liars content. So if you love Pretty Little Liars and you want somebody to like debrief with you, because I know it's been like years since that show has been like off the air, but I still have a lot of questions, and I'm still very angry at the writers for the things that they'd done, how they butchered that show and they butchered so many of the characters. So it's like quite cathartic to have somebody like sit and talk about all this, and I'm like, oh my god, I fucking know, like I think the exact same thing, because you know most people in the world are like over it now. I'm not over it. I'll never be over it. Alex Drake, are you fucking kidding me? Next on YouTube / podcast is A Better You podcast. This is a podcast by Fernanda Ramirez. She just talks about a lot of like feel good lifestyle stuff in there, like mindset stuff as well. I really like her. I actually put her videos on to fall asleep to, just because I think that's like good vibes for like my brain. I was in like a really bad habit of like watching a lot of true crime content and falling asleep to true crime, which is still one of my like favourite genres to like listen to, and like I am still super interested in it, but there got a point where I was like, this literally cannot be good for my brain, like consuming so much true crime. So her podcast is always just nice vibes. She's got a very lovely like gentle way about her. Like I just like her a lot. So I feel like if you're like in like the like wellness, health, lifestyle kind of area, you'll love her podcast. She's also just so well spoken and so like put together, and yeah, like her a lot, love that podcast a lot. TV shows that I have been watching, I started watching Riverdale last month and I'm already on season 2, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it takes me forever to get through TV shows because my attention span is like zilch. So I think it was when I started watching the Saina Skyborn's commentaries that I started missing Pretty Little Liars a lot, and I rewatched Pretty Little Liars not that long ago, and I kind of wanted something that was like kind of in the same vein of Pretty Little Liars, like trashy, teen, absolutely ridiculous. Like I just wanted something like that, and I feel like Riverdale has kind of been like filling that gap for me. And I kind of knew going into Riverdale, like I think I know the end and I know the last scene because I remember it being on Twitter like ages ago, being like, are you fucking joking me? This is how it ended. I don't mind that because I feel like going in and I'm just like, I know the show is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I'm fine with it. If you watch Riverdale, who is your favourite Riverdale character? So far, mine is, I really like Cheryl. Oh, I also like Jughead as well. I feel like he's cute. Another TV show that I am rewatching because Martin has never seen it before and it is such a good show is The Good Place. So I'm not going to give too much away about The Good Place in case you haven't seen it, and if you haven't, I highly recommend watching it. So it is a sitcom about the afterlife. So it starts in Eleanor, the main character, gets welcomed to the good place, and it's like, hi Eleanor, I'm Michael, you're dead, you're in the good place. And it's like, everything's fine, everything's like, you know, good place vibes. And then, this isn't too much of a spoiler, in like the first episode, it kind of unravels that Eleanor's like, how the hell did I get into the good place? Because on Earth, I was not a good person. And then it's kind of all about like her journey through that, and I feel like it just balances everything so perfectly. So I have seen all 4 seasons and I feel like it was really, really strong from season 1 to season 4. I was really satisfied all the way through. I was really satisfied with the ending. I was really happy with all of the character arcs that they had. I feel like the characters in that show are like so well written that you really, really connect with them and you really, really root for them, and the comedy in it is just unmatched. The storylines are great. I cannot rave about The Good Place enough. And Martin as well, like he is like, I feel like I am way more easily pleased when it comes to TV shows than him. He likes to think of himself as a little bit of a television critic. He is loving it. And then I have a film that I seen last month that I really enjoyed, and that was Priscilla. A lot of you maybe have already seen this or you have heard about it, but it is about the life of Priscilla Presley. Well, it's not really about the life of Priscilla Presley, it's about her and Elvis's relationship. And it's based on a book that Priscilla wrote called Elvis and Me, and it just kind of shines a realistic light on what their relationship was. I feel like if you seen the Elvis biopic like last year with Austin Butler, that was very like sensationalized, and don't get me wrong, I did go and see that and I did really, I loved that film and I thought that he was fantastic as Elvis. I know a lot of people like to take the piss out of him because he like hasn't lost the accent, and he kind of like became Elvis. Like Elvis's like spirit like took over him. But I actually think he was fantastic in that movie, and I think that that movie all round was like great. This is like very different. It's like not sensationalized in any way really, and it kind of seems more, it's all from Priscilla's point of view, so there's not a massive focus on Elvis as the performer. It's more of like what Elvis was like as a partner, and what it was like for Priscilla being what, like 14 at the time when she was introduced to Elvis, and he was 24. Not only is that obviously, there's many words I could choose for what that is, but it's like, even if the age wasn't in it, him being like a fucking superstar, the power dynamic there is like actually insane. And I think it shows more of what Elvis was probably like in real life. There was definitely points in the movie where like the power dynamic was like very clear, and Elvis was like pretty controlling towards Priscilla and almost wanted her to be like a little doll for him, rather than a wife, and he was pretty abusive throughout it as well. I just feel like the way that film like portrayed their relationship was really, really great. I heard a lot of people saying that they didn't like it because it showed it in like a romanticized light, because things like, oh, Elvis was my first love, and it does show like their like love and like kind of like connection in it, and how much Priscilla really, really loved him. But I didn't really have a problem with that, because I feel like any rational person watching that could understand why a 14-year-old girl would be like absolutely besotted with this 24-year-old gorgeous, talented superstar, and how probably that was how Priscilla felt. And Priscilla still says to this day like she had so much love for Elvis, and she doesn't see their relationship as being abuse. I mean, my opinion on that, I wasn't in it, but like from an outsider's perspective, my opinion on that definitely differs. But I feel like even if you like watch that, I feel like even if you watch that film, you can see that there was elements of her being, yes, truly in love with him, but also that she was like a child, and that power dynamic was like definitely not okay. So I thought it was really interesting. I thought the actors in it were like phenomenal as well. I thought both the actors like played their parts like really, really well. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on like their names. Jacob, I can't remember. He didn't really look like Elvis, but he sounded like Elvis, and I feel like his like mannerisms and stuff were like quite Elvis-like, whereas like Austin Butler, as I says, like literally like absorbed the spirit of Elvis, like done like a seance and like sucked him in. It wasn't like that, so it didn't feel like it was like a film all about Elvis. It felt very realistic, and I enjoyed it. And then I have a book recommendation, and it is Lessons in Chemistry. I feel like Lessons in Chemistry definitely had its moment like last year, and I did have the book in the house and kept meaning to read it and meaning to read it and meaning to read it, and I just didn't. But then last month I did get around to actually reading it, and it was fantastic. I laughed, I cried, I rooted for the main character, loved everything about it, loved the dog 630, like the characters were fantastic, the storyline was great, the overarching like message of like feminism and empowering women was amazing. I feel like the main character's like journey through the book was really, really great, and even though there were some like really like heartbreaking moments, and even though she's like this scientist who in a way like her personality is like so opposite from mine in like every way, and I feel like she was still like incredibly like relatable, and I feel like anybody reading it could see elements of themselves in Elizabeth. And I feel like the whole story was just like really complete, and yeah, one of the best books I have read in a long time. I did not expect this to be this long. I thought this was going to be like a little 20-minute video. I have fucking rambled for how long? 42 minutes now. Wow. Hopefully I can like cut some of this down and edit in. Next, I'm going to talk about just a couple of food bits. This might seem really random, but I'm just going to talk about it anyway. I'm not talking about like meals or anything. This is kind of like lunch focused snacky bits that I have been like enjoying when I'm in work. So the first one is the Itsy Satay noodles, which is like a little like healthy pot noodle, rice noodle pot. You literally open the little pack, put the little sauce in, put boiling water in it, wait a couple of minutes, and then it's ready, and it is absolutely delicious. The broth in that is like so nice. And I think as well, like especially because it's like the colder months, a sandwich just ain't cutting it for me. And am I good at meal prepping? Am I fuck? So like this will just, it just kind of hits the spot on like a lunch day, and it's vegan as well. I am vegan, so any kind of quick easy vegan options, I'm there for it. And then by the same brand, Itsu, they have noodle soup gyoza, noodle gyoza soup, like a, it's kind of like similar thing, but it's like more like filling and more of like a meal, I guess. So it's got some gyozas in there, but the same thing, you literally boil the kettle, pour the water in, wait 3 minutes, and boom, that is ready for you. And it's really nice. And it's also part of like the Tesco meal deal, that one, but the one for a £5. So, but I feel like that's still like relatively like okay. If you get one of them, you get a packet of crisps, and you get like a drink or something like that, then I feel like that's like quite a nice little work lunch that you don't need to work hard for, but still will like fill you up and feel like something. And then there is a brand called Buttermilk, and they do these really amazing chocolate bars. So they have like this like nougat kind of bar, which for me is like a vegan Mars bar almost, but it's been so long since I've had a Mars bar that I would say this is better, but don't rely on me for that. I've not had a Mars bar in like 8 years, so maybe even longer. I don't know, I've not had a Mars bar in a very long time. So for me, I'm like, Mars bar. If you're not vegan and you have it, you might be like, bitch, that's not a Mars bar. And then they also have a honeycomb chocolate bar as well. And for me, this is like crunchy. This one is my favourite because I loved crunchies before I was a vegan. But I can't always find this one in places. I can always find like the caramel, like nougaty one. But I can't always find the honeycomb one, which is sad first world problems. Next section I had was clothing, but I don't really have any clothing in that section. I only have one ring, so I guess it's more of like a jewellery section, but I can't say that word. So I think that's why I put it down as clothes, because I can't say that word. And it is this ring that I have here. Hopefully the camera shows that. So this ring is of the goddess Persephone, and I got it for Christmas, and I got it from this brand called Awe Inspired. So they do like a lot of like goddess and like deity rings, necklaces and stuff like that. And I've always wanted something from the brand, and Martin got me this for Christmas. So there is a version as well where in the little pomegranate that she's holding, there is a little ruby in it. I personally liked just the all gold version much better, but the little ruby version is cute too. There's loads of different like goddesses to choose from, and loads of different styles to choose from as well. I think the brand is like really reasonably priced for the quality. So it is, I believe, gold plated. I don't think it's solid gold, but the quality is really nice, and I will definitely be purchasing more things from them in future. And then our last section is spirituality. So every single year I do yoga with Adrian's 30 days of yoga. This year the theme was flow, and all the practices were 20 to 25 minutes. I absolutely loved this year. I think this year is possibly my favourite year ever of the 30 days of yoga. I'm thinking I might be lying about that, but I feel like right now in this moment I want to say that it's my favourite. However, I am going to go back, and I'm going to, now that I've completed flow, I'm going to go and do last year's, which I believe was centre, and I'm going to work my way back through all of them over the next 10 months, because I believe this is her 10th year in doing it. And I have completed all of them before, but I kind of want to work my way back, and that's just something that's going to really keep me on track and keep me like doing something self-care for myself. I do practice yoga regularly anyway, but I feel like something about committing to a 30-day program where, you know, like every single day you're taking this 20 minutes like for yourself is so incredibly beneficial for like not just like your body, obviously getting like that physical movement in every day of strength and stretch is amazing, but like for your mind as well. So that has been like my kind of anchor through this month, which is often like January's pretty tough month. So I feel like going back to that practice every single day has been something that has like massively like benefited me on like all levels. Another thing that I want to recommend, which feels like a strange recommendation, and it's not something new to me, it's just something that I've picked up and been like practicing a lot more recently. Like I said, with things like you pick them up, you drop them again, you pick them up, you drop them again. Lately I have been practicing Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, and I feel like that breath technique for calming anxiety, helping you relax, chilling your mind, like balancing you out, like honestly, like it is so incredible. I don't know why doctors aren't telling this to people with anxiety, aren't sharing like breathwork techniques with them, because like the benefits are like endless. And I'm not saying like if you like practice breathwork you're not going to have any like mental health issues or anything. I have fucking mental health issues coming out my ears and I practice breathwork all the time, but what I am saying is can massively help you cope with it and help you to feel better. So alternate nostril breathing, I'm not going to do a demo, but there is millions online if you want them. The idea is you hold one nostril as you breathe in, breathe out, and then you switch and do the same with the other like nostril. So every time you inhale you switch, so it'll be like inhale, both, exhale, both, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale. Both my nostrils are blocked right at this moment, but I just feel like it's so amazing. And if you like don't want to try like that kind of like breath work or anything, there's other kinds of breath work out there that I feel like people just don't know can help them so immensely in all aspects of life. Anyway, I feel like I have like chatted shit for long enough now. If you have made it to the end of the video, oh my god, thank you so much for watching, that's impressive. If you have anything that you want to share with me that has been like your favourite things, please let me know, I would love to know. And I will hopefully see you again in another one. Bye.